Well, it was green across the board today, but for very different reasons. Stocks absolutely ripped to new highs after some long-awaited inflation data finally gave the market the good news it was craving. But what's really interesting is that crypto also had a massive day. Is this just a case of a rising tide lifts all boats, or is there a separate story playing out in the digital asset space? We're going to break down the huge rally on Wall Street, see what's fueling the fire in crypto, and figure out what it all means for your money. Let's get to it. Wall Street finally got the green light it was looking for. After weeks of anxiety, the latest Consumer Price Index (CPI) report came in cooler than some had feared, showing annual inflation holding steady at 2.7%. That was all it took to unleash the bulls. Investors took this as a sign that the Federal Reserve has room to cut interest rates, and they started buying everything in sight. The result? A huge rally that sent major indexes soaring to new heights. The S&P 500 jumped 1.1% to close at a new record, and the tech-heavy Nasdaq Composite climbed 1.4%, hitting its third record close in just 4 days. Even the Dow Jones Industrial Average got in on the action, surging over 1% for the day. This wasn't a narrow rally either. We saw broad-based gains, with all the major S&P 500 sectors finishing in the green. And as you'd expect on a risk-on day like this, the market's fear gauge, the VIX, tumbled, signaling that traders are feeling much more confident about the near future. This wasn't a cautious step forward. It was a full-blown sprint to new highs. Flipping over to the crypto world, things were just as explosive, but the narrative is a bit more complex. Digital assets were on fire, with capital flowing in and pushing prices toward key psychological levels. Bitcoin, for instance, held its ground firmly and is now knocking on the door of the $120,000 to $122,000 range. While it hasn't broken its all-time high just yet, its resilience is a strong signal that buyers are stepping in with conviction. But the real showstopper was Ethereum. ETH surged past $4,400, hitting its highest level since late 2021 and getting within striking distance of its all-time high. This move seems to be fueled by more than just general market optimism. There are signs of significant institutional interest, with one firm announcing plans to purchase billions in ETH, and a growing buzz around the potential for Ether ETFs. This excitement is spilling over into the rest of the crypto market. Bitcoin's dominance has been hovering, suggesting that traders are getting more comfortable rotating into other projects, sparking whispers of a new altcoin season. If you're re-getting value out of this breakdown and it's helping you make sense of these wild market moves, do me a favor and hit that like button. It really helps the channel and tells me you want more daily updates just like this one. So, why did everything rally today? It looks like we have two powerful forces working together. On one hand, the stock market's rally was a direct reaction to that clean CPI report. Wall Street loves certainty, and the data provided a clear signal. Inflation is behaving, so the Fed can likely start cutting rates. That's a simple, powerful narrative that benefits almost all traditional assets. Crypto, however, seems to be playing a slightly different game. While the risk-on mood from the inflation news certainly helped, crypto is also running on its own internal catalysts. We're talking about a surge in institutional adoption, excitement over new financial products like ETFs, and a wave of innovation in areas like decentralized finance and altcoins that is generating its own hype cycle. Today's inflation report was the main event, and it delivered. So what's next? The big question for stocks is whether this rally has legs. The market has now fully priced in a September rate cut, so the focus will shift to upcoming Fed meetings, and whether the economic data can stay strong enough to support these record-high valuations. For crypto, the test will be whether its internal momentum can keep firing even if the broader market cools off. Will the excitement around institutional adoption and altcoins be enough to sustain this rally? Or could a pullback in stocks, if one comes, drag crypto down with it? How these two markets behave from here will tell us a lot about whether crypto is truly starting to carve its own path. To sum it all up, today was a monster day for the bulls. Stocks went into overdrive, smashing records on the back of great inflation news. Crypto joined the party with a massive rally of its own, powered by both a positive macro environment and its own unique set of catalysts. Now all eyes are on whether this momentum can continue. Keep an eye on those key levels in both markets to see if support holds and resistance breaks. What's your next move? You taking profits, buying more, or just watching from the sidelines? Help your strategy in the comments below. And if you want to be ready for whatever the market throws at us tomorrow, make sure you're subscribed with notifications on Niche Sharp. And I'll catch you in the next one.